Hey, what's up guys, it's Axel, and today we're checking out the Kiwi Ears Altruva. This is an open back over-ear headphone that has a 50mm dynamic driver. It's priced around $69, and this is the wood brown version. And let's dive in and see what you get with it. For $69, it's really nice what comes with the package. You do get the headphones themselves, of course, which feel really well built, plus an extra set of velour earpads, a 3-meter long cable, and a 1/4-inch adapter. The cable is a basic dual 3.5mm to 3.5mm cable. You know, it's cloth covered. It's a bit microphonic above this Y-split, but honestly, below that, there are no microphonics, and the cable basically does the job. It's a bit too long for me personally, so what I do is just I wrap it like that and then use it. But if your music source is farther away, this could be perfect for you, this length. And the 1/4-inch adapter that comes with it is a screw-on mechanism, so it's nice and secure and no worries about it falling off. And yes, it works with regular adapters too. Now, build-wise, the Altruva is actually really well built. I feel the build quality here is amazing for this price point. It's lightweight, by the way, so it doesn't feel heavy on the head. And, you know, there's quality metal everywhere. Like, this headband is made out of metal. These parts are made out of metal. The hinges and even the grill that you see right here is made out of metal. And everything here feels really solid. The wood finish here looks really nice in person. And on the bottom, you get your two 3.5mm inputs, and the suspension headband strap is one of my favorite things about it. It's elastic, it's self-adjusting, you don't need to fiddle with it manually, and it's really, really nice. You know, you wear it, you don't feel it, it's lightweight, and my experience with wearing this headphone is basically after a few minutes, I can barely feel it on my head, which is really, really nice. The comfort is definitely a highlight here with the Altruva. Clamping force is just right. It holds on firm to my head without, you know, having a tight squeeze or anything like that. It also stays secure on my head, even when I move around, you know. The earpads is one of my favorite parts about it. They are, as you can see, soft and plush, and they feel very comfortable. They also have a good sense of depth so that your ear doesn't touch the driver inside, which is really nice, you know. The comfort of this Earpad is amazing. Also, because this is an open back, my ears get to breathe during long sessions when I'm wearing it. And like I said, I can't actually barely feel it after a few minutes. Now, on a small note here, there is no swivel on the ear cups if this is something you're interested in. For me, it's not an issue because I get a good seal. And for me, that's important. It helps the bass response. And the fit stays locked in place when I'm walking, where I'm nodding my head or talking. This is really important for me. There's also like clear left and right indicators right here, which are, you know, white background with the letters. So it helps you to see it, which is also, you know, a nice touch that helps avoid confusion. Now, you do get two sets of earpads with this headphone. You do get this leather type that's installed right now, and you do get a velour pad, you know, an extra set of velour pair. I like the leather ones more because of the comfort. They're thicker, they're deeper, they're softer, they feel really nice, and they are great for long listening sessions. The velour ones are really nice as well, by the way, but just during summer, they might feel a bit warm. Sound-wise, the velour pad, you know, kind of changes the sound a bit, maybe even better for some people. But for me, I prefer the comfort of the leather pad. I feel they feel really, really nice here. So, by the way, these earpads are removable and it's very easy. Basically, there is a bit of plastic here. You just grab it like that and just turn it to the left. It comes off like that. You can see that right here. If you want to install it, you just align them and then twist it to the right, and it locks in, and then it doesn't move anymore. You know, it stays stable. You can move the earpads themselves like so if you want. And if you want to take them off again, it's really simple. You just grab it from this part right here and just twist to the left, it comes off. Twist to the right, it locks in. It's a very simple and easy mechanism. If you want to change the earpads themselves, you basically just remove this part right here, you know, and you put on the other earpad. It's definitely challenging the first time you do that, but after that, the earpads stretch and it becomes very easy. Now, in terms of drivability, I want to talk about that for a moment. I will say the driving or power requirements of the Altruva is moderate. It's not, you know, difficult to drive or hard to drive or anything like that, but you'll definitely need something stronger than just a basic Apple dongle. I tried it with the Tangent Stargate 2, and it was okay. got to a decent volume. But then I tried the Fiocchi A11. It really came alive, louder. The bass started to hit really nicely. Now, you don't need a super powerful amplifier or anything like that, but I would say like something that puts around, let's say, 200 milliwatts or so at 32 ohms should work well to my ears with the leather pads. Now, first thing that stands out when I tried the Altruva is how open this thing sounds. This is, a headphone that really has an open, it's a really open back. It's not a semi-open back. This is an open back headphone, and the sense of openness and the sense of stage really is something that's really nice. And the stage like surrounds you, the sounds, surround you, which is, for me, this is something I find really enjoyable, and it's going to be great if you're into gaming or watching movies. It's got an impactful bass, not overpowering, forward mids, and decent treble extension. About the bass of the Altruva, the bass amount here is good for an open back. It's got a nice boost, giving you that satisfying thump without drowning everything else out. It's not for bass heads though, but it's definitely not neutral either. There is a nice bass boost here. It's a bit on the boomy side, but not overly so. Sub bass shows up well on tracks that call for it, and there is a good sense of punch that doesn't overshadow the vocals. In terms of the mids, they're actually forward and center, and they're actually quite prominent. There is a slight bass bleed into the vocals, but it doesn't mess with the vocal clarity too much, as the mid-range here is actually forward. The vocals come across as a bit warm and a bit colored, so this isn't the most natural or neutral headphone, but for $69, I would say this is pretty solid. Upper mids are boosted, so if you're sensitive or you don't prefer a forward upper mid-range, this could be a bit too much for you at times. Though for me, it never gets shouty because it's balanced with a nice amount of bass, and female vocals sound great, extend well. Again, if you're not into forward mids, this might not be your favorite, but for me, it was a bit colored, but forward enough. And overall, I will describe the mids as decent. As for the treble, it has nice extension, enough energy to keep things lively without harshness. Cymbals sound, good, clear, crisp, they're not like dull or lacking or anything. Like, again, this is not a super airy or sparkly, treble, but it definitely has presence. It's not dull or lacking in any way. Overall, it's nice, decent. As for the technical performance of the Altruva, I'll say technical performance here is solid. Soundstage is wide, it's impressive, it's spacious. I tried it without EQ, like I described it, and without EQ, I'll describe it as decent, $69, it's definitely solid. But after applying some EQ, this can take the headphone to a whole new level. The Altruva takes well to EQ, handles EQ well. There's no distortion. You can basically dial in your personal preference. If you're willing to do EQ, this could be a great value at $69. It's comfortable, and doesn't distort or anything like that. And this could be amazing for you. Now, let's do our first comparison here. Quick comparison. Let's start with the Ellipse. I like the Ellipse. The Ellipse is a semi-open back headphone, in my opinion, so it isolates more. While the Altruva is, an open back headphone, so it gives me the bigger sense of stage, the more spacious and open presentation. Both of these are really comfortable headphones, but I really prefer the comfort of the Altruva. As you can see, the earpads here are, softer, the plusher, and I really like this self-adjusting strap that I don't feel in my head at all, and I don't worry about adjusting it or anything. So this is something that I appreciate. Sound-wise, they are different. The Ellipse sounds warmer and bassier, while the Altruva has less bass, more forward vocals, and more extension in the treble. The bass on the Ellipse hits harder. It feels more physical. It has a sense of physicality. Great if you want that sense of slam. The vocals on the Ellipse also are a bit laid back, but they do sound more natural sounding compared to the Altruva. Like the Altruva's vocals stand out more. They're more forward, but they are also a bit colored. Detail and resolution, I'll say roughly both of these are similar. Maybe the Altruva kind of wins more when it comes to the mid-range and treble clarity because it has forward vocals and it has better treble extension, which is just going to highlight some sounds more. Now, in terms of stage, the Altruva is clearly better. Like, it's wider and more open. Like, when I hear the Ellipse, it definitely has a good sense of stage, better than closed back headphones, but then you hear the Altruva and you feel, yes, this is what an open back headphone should sound like. It's basically going to be a preference. If you prefer semi-open back headphones with warmer, more relaxed, natural vocals that have a stronger bass, I'll say the Ellipse is a solid choice. Because of the warmth of the bass and the relaxed up mid-range, I would say the Ellipse kind of feels like a nice chill listen. If you want less bass though, and you want more forward but still colored vocals, clearer mid-range, some treble extension, more open soundstage, I feel the Altruva is the way to go. If you plan on using EQ though, I would definitely pick the Altruva. Its open sound and comfort makes it stand out, and like I said, with EQ it can deliver the sense of physicality that kind of feels similar to the Ellipse, so that is something. Now, if we're talking about closed back headphones, this is the SimGod EP5, which is a nice closed back headphones. It's more expensive, and the biggest difference is going to be the open back design and the closed back design. The Altruva has the wider and bigger sense of stage and openness to the sound. It also has more bass weight, although that bass can be slightly boomy, but it does have that sense of heft and power in the bass. The EP5's bass is definitely more controlled, but it's not going to be as satisfying if you want to have that sense of slam that you find on the Altruva. The vocals on the EP5 can sound a bit cleaner, while on the Altruva they sound a bit warmer and colored. Treble extension is slightly better on the Altruva. Both are comfortable overall, but of course, if you're looking for an open back, the Altruva is the better value. That's my take basically on the Kiwi Ears Altruva. I feel for $69 it has fantastic build, great comfort. If you like open back headphones and you want something at this price point that has a nice sense of stage, an excellent sense of comfort, this is definitely worth checking out. If you've tried the Altruva, let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.